All right, folks, welcome to Chatterbox Bearcats. A win's a win. UC's 4-0 on the basketball season. Final score 72-55. Got a little sketchy for much of this game. Took about 30 minutes of game time for UC to take their first lead. They were down 6 at halftime, but a 42-19 drubbing in the second half made it look pretty comfortable on the box score. 72-55 final. UC's 4-0. They avoid disaster, and they got a huge one coming up on Friday. This is Chatterbox Bearcats, your home for real Bearcats talk, live post-game. We got Nick Niehaus. I'm Chuck Walter. Today's episode and every episode is brought to you by our sponsors, Martino's on Vine. It's steps away from the campus of the University of Cincinnati. Perfect for your Bearcats watch parties, upstairs, downstairs. They got the goods, TVs with Bearcats games on every screen, big screens, good food, stromboli, 2-foot gargantuan monstrosity sandwiches, and more. Italian-American classics. Shout out Angiuli's. Shout out Martino's. Let's talk about this game. Not going to be a long post-game show. It's Sunday. We suffered through the Bengals. We suffered through a tough loss on Saturday against Arizona for the football team. But I guess we got a little bit of good. Now the bad, UC shot at 38% from the floor. I'm like, that's so Raven. Raven Simone getting future glimpses of teams running zone on us and just chucking up shots, But I guess the good, fast break points. UC had 21 points off turnovers to Mount St. Mary's 0. That's my takeaway number one.
It felt like it was going to be one of those weekends, Chuck. You lose football on Saturday. You lose a horrible game, the Bengals game. And then everybody had the panic button out in the first half because we were trailing to Mount St. Mary's. And everybody, you know what also is the worst part is just the name of the school, Mount St. Mary's Mountaineers. You're like, who? And it just sounds way worse.
For a minute, I was like, is that where Doug Eater went? But that was St. Peter's.
Yeah, it's like, it would be much better if this was like named, the school was named something else, but it would have been extremely embarrassing if we lost. Chuck, I was dying to know, as we were trying to pull up the stats before we started the show, how many threes we took in the first half compared to the second half, and how many shots at the rim we got in the second half. There's two things, like you mentioned, fast break points. That's one. Obviously, that's considered a shot at the rim. Also, they got to the line a lot. Like, they didn't make, again, the percentage doesn't seem great. 60%, that's pretty terrible. But we got to the line 30 times. You're not getting to the line just from chucking up threes unless your name is Sean Abayev. He's going to get at least one a game. But they got to the rim, which was very nice to see in the second half. And it was one of those games where just the longer it went, the longer you could out-athlete these guys, and we finally did it with Cham and Baba. I thought Cham played well. I thought Baba played well, obviously, in the second half. Like, they left a better taste in your mouth later on in the game than in the beginning, but, it was just one of those things where the talent finally came through.
Yeah, very similar stat lines. Baba Miller and Mustafa Cham each went 5 and 9 from the floor. Each had 13 points, 11 rebounds for Baba, 10 rebounds for Mustafa Cham, 4 blocks from each. So literally an identical stat line for the most part. Baba Miller, double-double. Again, Mustafa Cham, double-double. Day Thomas had 16, 5, and 5. Couple of turnovers. Sean Abayev had 9. Struggled shooting the 3-ball today, 0 of 6, but did get to the line 5 times, knocked down 3 of them. And he's going to be feast or famine. We know this. He's going to win the Cats some games this year with his shooting. Kirk Ariza, man, 1 of 9 from 3-point range. You're not going to win many games in the Big 12 if Kirk Ariza shooting 9 and missing 8 of them. Tyler McKinley only played 3 minutes. That's a takeaway. Alvin Zella scored 1 point in his 10 minutes, but he was everywhere on the glass. He could finish a layup, man. He looked like it's Braxton Key for the Warriors last year in a postseason game where he got like 5 straight rebounds and just missed every single layup. And you're like, God, if he could finish a layup, this guy would be a force. Keyshawn Tillery had his best game as a Bearcat with 9 points, hit a couple of threes. Sincere Harris had 8 points in his 22 minutes of play. Once again, plays good defense. I thought he really gave them a jolt when they needed it. And then Jalen Celestine missed all of his threes. He went 0 of 4 from the floor. He did not score a point in his 13 minutes. We did not see Jordi Rodriguez in the game today. It's on to Louisville, man. There's not a ton of talking points from this one because, like you said, when Baba and Cham combined for 8 blocks, you know that you just outman the other team. And there was no reason why this one should have been close for an entire 30 minutes of game time, but you win. I wanted to come on here and start bagging Wes, but you win. You're 4-0. I can't talk any trash today. I just got to say that's a win. We'll take it.
You
Friday,
know who else?
It's going to be tough.
Yeah, Friday's going to be tough. You know who else outmanned the other team was Day Thomas. You know, all 6 foot of him. He had a play with about 5 minutes left, the loose ball, and he just dove like full horizontal midair, just right on his chest, and real tough effort player. And I'm like, are we seeing this in a bye game on a Sunday night in front of how many thousand fans? Couldn't have been much, right? It didn't seem like everybody showed up to tonight's game. Let's see. 9,007 according
Student
to
section was a little tough, but yeah, understandable.
And Day Thomas is still diving all over the floor. Give credit to Day Thomas for sticking around what was an absolute terrible year last year, coming back and just putting it all on the line. He is a Bearcat. Lily said it last year, like Day Thomas is a Bearcat. So really liked what I saw from him. 16 points from him, 3 for 3 from 3. Who would have thought Day Thomas would be our best shooter? You mentioned Kurt Carissa, dude. I'm worried about the Cincy curse, where everybody's like, "Oh, we got this great shooter on the team. He's going to put on a Bearcat uniform, and he's not going to be able to shoot ever again." He's had a rough go of it so far this year, I feel like, from 3.
For sure. When Houdini said on the last show that Day Thomas was a 40% three-point shooter last year, I thought that was just an error. I was about to text him and say, "You made a boner, Houdini. That is not that can't be right." No, dude, he shot 40% from 3 last year. How? I don't remember him knocking down that many threes.
Well, I think it's just because the rest of the team made all the misses for him. Made all the misses. I
like that. That's like you, that comment that you made that we were technically a freshman, but hypothetically a sophomore. Yeah. One of the Arkansas fans popped in the comments like, dude, what does that even mean? And you did it twice. I respect it.
I'll still do it. Every time we talk about Tyler McKinley, I'll say hypothetically a sophomore.
Yeah, Abayev and Kriisa combined 1 of 15 from 3. That's not going to get it done on Friday. Not going to spend too much time on the postgame show because it's Sunday. Sunday is the day of the Sabbath. It's a day to spend with our families. I know Niehaus has a wife to get to, but you're doing a midweek show with Lily, correct?
Of course, yeah. Every week.
So we'll be preparing for Nip at Night. A little BYU action on Saturday, high noon.
Big noon kickoff?
Big noon, excuse me, high noon, the beverage. But big noon kickoff's coming to town. That means the pizza man himself maybe paying Mr. Lilly a visit at Assisi's.
Chuck, are we not going to break down the hedge screens and the high ball screens on tonight's game? What?
I'm good.
We got to break down. All right.
I got to do a Warriors post game too. Moses Moody had 7 threes in the first half, so I got to get back dialed into that one. Yeah, 7 threes in the first quarter. Excuse me, not half.
Everybody's going to jump off the ship for the football team. I'm not, just because it's Nip at Night. It's big noon kickoff. Show up for that. Here's the thing. We're still fighting for something. The season is not dead. We might be dead, for all intents and purposes when it comes to the Big 12 championship. Do I think we're going to make the Big 12 championship? Absolutely not. No, we need a lot of things to go our way. And guess what? We're Cincinnati fans. They never do. But still, we have a chance to knock off a top 25 team at Nip at Night with big noon kickoff coming to town. I think that's something that's, exciting, and I'm looking forward to it. I tried to trade a ticket to tonight's game of Mount St. Mary's for BYU on Saturday. No takers, no engagement on that tweet, but
shocker.
Yeah, so I will hopefully be there on Saturday.
When you and Lily don't attend Fifth Third Arena, it's a sleepy game. You're stomping your foot at every game, man.
I had
birthday party.
A conflict. Yep. Yes. It was a family birthday party. I was watching on my phone. I was like the weird uncle in the corner, like, what's he doing over there on his phone? It's like, I'm breaking down Cincinnati Mount St. Mary's. Give me a break.
All right, let's go to 5-0. Bearcats in Louisville on Friday. That is a massive, massive game in the Queen City. You expect Cardinal faithful to make the travel into town. It's a great rivalry. It's one that we don't see nearly enough. Last time we saw it, I believe, was in the Maui Invitational, and we kicked their asses, right? Then we stole their coach in football.
They had some down years, but man, they are back.
They're back. Yeah. Elder Pat Kelsey's got that program rolling. UC had a chance to bring in Kelsey a couple times, I'm pretty sure, when he was over at Winthrop and College of Charleston. Well, you're going, well, I mean, we could have gotten the local tie guy, and we went with Wes Miller from North Carolina.
He's a Xavier guy. That's just that. I don't think that would have flown.
So was John
I'm not
Brown.
saying I wouldn't have taken him. I'm not saying I wouldn't have taken him. I don't want this to get misconstrued. I would love Pat Kelsey. Let's call a spade a spade. But no, I mean, he's a Xavier guy. Let's just,
All right. Well, we made history tonight, Niehaus. It was the shortest UC post-game show in history. That's what happens when you play Mount St. Mary's and when you're losing by 30 minutes of that game. I'm going to go bundle up and take the pooches on a walk. Houston beats Auburn, the number one team in the country. Houston 73-72. Oklahoma State wins as well. Both those teams undefeated. So the Big 12 off to a nice start. Got a lot of hoops to play. It's been kind of ugly, but we got a win over Dayton, and the Cats are 4-0. Chatterbox Bearcats, everyone. Have a good one.